I got a funny story to tell you. What's up, dreamers? This is Irene and welcome to Mind Alley. I got a funny story to share with y'all today. A story of my life. As the title of this video indicated, I'm going to talk about changes today. I know a lot of people have trouble adapting to new changes, but I have yet to meet anyone who is as extreme as me. Let's put aside feeling physically uncomfortable with changes. I think a lot of people feel the same way when they experience changes. That's kindergarten level. I'm talking about mentally denying the change for years. Like, close to 10 years. I'm actually a bit embarrassed admitting this, but you can probably guess from the title. I was mentally denying the fact that I immigrated to Canada. Here's a reaction I got often when I told people about this. You're so lucky you get to grow up in Vancouver. I get it, I agree. I was fucking lucky and I'm forever grateful to my parents for making this decision. However, this is me today talking. The me in 2005 thought otherwise. Here's what went on in my mind. The first couple years of my life, I was taken care of by my grandparents. I was living with my cousins and we played together. It was fun. Then my parents took me to the city they worked at, which was approximately an hour drive away from my grandparents' house. That was the first time I was forced to move away from an environment I had companionship. Around 4 years old, due to family reasons, my parents and I moved to Netherlands. Now, not only I was away from my cousin, I was far, far away. And about 2 years passed by when I had a bunch of friends in school. We moved back to Taiwan. So this is the third time I had to readapt to new environments and new lifestyle. And just as I thought I could finally make long-term friendship, my dad dropped the bomb on me one night when I was doing my homework in 5th grade. He told me that after my semester is finished, we're moving to Canada. I remember it so vividly because it was literally one of the huge turning points in my life. And the only two expressions I had were rejection and frustration. I had a beautiful picture painted in my head of how my life for the next 2 years would be when I go to the same middle school with my friends. And it was literally hammered into pieces by a non-negotiable decision made by my parents. So, we moved to Canada in the summer of 2005. My life completely changed. Everything was so different from what I knew. I was alone again. I didn't understand anything people said. One time at a dance competition, I was sitting in the backstage and trying to explain to someone else's mom with broken English that I needed help to put makeup on. I wasn't very good at approaching strangers and making friends. Every time I got put into a new environment, it was like pressing a restart button. I had to go through a long period of adjusting. That was what happened. I somehow managed to live through my day-to-day life with normal ups and downs, while deep inside, I was completely rejecting this change. I hated being in Canada. Every time I went to Taiwan for summer visit, I cried on the way flying back to Canada. I wanted to be with my family and my old friends, and I wanted to live the school life my friends were living. I wanted my old life back. Here's how I wasted my 8 years. The way I rebelled being in Canada was I refused to improve my English. I was put into an English-speaking environment, so I had no choice but improving, but my improvement was extremely passive. In other words, learning English was never my top priority. This is going to sound ridiculous, but I never had a full-length English conversation with anyone until I was 18. I asked my parents, myself, the universe for years, why am I being put in environments I don't want to be in? For years, I couldn't wrap my head around why I had to go through with this change. And for years, I refused to accept and adapt to this change. I literally wasted 8 years of my life on something that was already set in stone. Fucking ridiculous. If you're someone who have a lot of fear going through changes, use me as a case study. That 8 years I've wasted questioning about things out of my control, I could have used that to do something more meaningful and create a more positive impact for my future. You know what I've learned? We all live in a world that changes constantly. Nothing is eternal. I know it's scary going through changes. I know it's forward and adapting to new things. I know how uncomfortable that feeling of unfamiliarity is. But who benefits the most when you can adapt to changes fast? You. Don't be afraid of changes, celebrate it. Good changes or bad changes, whatever it looks like on the surface, there's only good coming from it. How many times have you seen a person feeling grateful 2 years after leaving a heartbreaking relationship? You probably experienced it yourself. I am grateful. I'm grateful for all the changes happening in my life. Now you probably wonder what exactly happened that I'm now having a different attitude to your changes. Well, nothing happened exactly. If you have to pinpoint it, it's time. You see, life contains many lessons. We're all here to learn lessons. And we will keep learning the same lessons until we've learned it. For me, it took me almost 10 years to learn one lesson. It took me that long to learn that change is good. And the sooner we adapt to it, the sooner we can take advantage of the good. Here's my advice. Learn your lesson fast, grow fast. So you can keep moving on and enjoy different beautiful sceneries in life. Like I said in my previous video, a mindset switch can be as fast as a snap. I don't expect you to be able to make that change just like that. If you're stuck, but you're committed to be a better version of yourself, talk to me. If I can do it, you better fucking believe you can too.